come out here and they like put on their best show, they put on their best performance. Maybe the people end up scouting them or something like that. I feel like people are going to be scouting Mariano. This guy always comes in with like the best mentality as a coach. I'd love to hear him.
I think it's helpful, you know, long time service as a player. He was in there, you know, attending the lands. He's been there. He knows the feel. So you have that availability to like pass it on to your teammates.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, and we've already heard a lot from the panel, and then also, you know, about the preparation that was there, what we should anticipate. It feels like for Beastcoast, a lot of the hopes right now are on to Lumpy, and Lumpy taking some lumps from Hector as he heads off the other direction. I want to see how well he's able to get off his on the ground here, and then the other big thing, of course, is that how much are Heroic going to destroy these side lanes? But
yeah,
we're talking about the Invoker pick too.
Yeah, that too. I feel like when we started the draft, it was all about the Enigma, because they came in with a plan, clearly, on the side of Beastcoast, right? Like, they got rid of the Alchemist right away, you're getting rid of this Naga Siren, you're opening with the Enigma, and you're saying, like, we have enough confidence that we can pick this really early in the draft. So you begin there, and by the end of it, we're talking about how this draft kind of comes down to Lumpy. Right. Because you have Pyke here on this Muerta, as Fear was saying, he does like the hero quite a bit, but she has some weaknesses. But they found this situation, thanks to his knowledge on the hero, that, yeah, you know, I got these advantages versus the Bristleback. I can still make this work, even if she's not as strong as she once was. But by the end of the draft, it does feel like Lumpy's going to have to be pulling the big one here, because I think Analog got, like, the perfect Invoker pick.
Yeah, it ended up looking really solid for him. And this is a hero that has definitely looked incredibly strong depending upon how you end up playing it. And of course, who else can play around with him as well? Does he have those components and people that want to fight with him? And Clockwork fits the mold for that perfectly.
Did I hear a squeak?
Yeah, and, Analog obviously very experienced there. He's been dropping some voice lines, little Grandmasters here and there, blazing over that sea of ignorance, like Invoker players do.
I will say it never feels great to see a bronze tier on your carry, which is what Hector is right now on the Bristleback. I'm a little surprised by that.
It's okay, it's a strength hero. He gets a natural buff.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's fine. He doesn't actually have to play them. He can just like tune into them. They're in his soul.
Well, right now, in some trouble is Schofield, a bit too far forward in El Micho. Gonna draw first blood. Hector not able to deal with these Eidolons, getting the split off on this one.
It's a little awkward because you're playing the melee and melee.
Okay.
So you don't have all the same advantages. Mercy and Enigma also has a lot of different shenanigans you can do. This is a pretty common duo because you can do your rebounds off of the Eidolons in different situations. You can chuck someone backwards, like right over top of the Eidolons, and suddenly you're body blocked.
Right.
There's a lot of tricky things you can do.
Well, not going to quite connect there with the Remnant from Lumpy, but we'll try and make a play for some of these CSing. So far, he's doing a really good job. 13-3 versus the 10-3 on that Invoker as Divine Llama beats into Moose a little bit, who's messing around trying to drag these waves. And not quite going to be able... Well, he might connect on the range creep. No. Good job there. King Jungles to pull it all the way to the side. They do finally connect down towards the river, and that's going to make this a little bit tougher, although with the disruption, they'll mess with this Muerta a bit more.
Yeah, giving Divine Llama this good start here. And although he hasn't played it a lot, as Panda was saying, he's clearly been on the grind in matchmaking. Very cute. Very well done.
I like that.
Gotta do that with the Shadow Demon. Make sure you're blocking that small camp. That means it's not going to spawn there at the 3-minute mark, which means they can't pull to get the wave closer to your tower. If you're not super familiar with our Dota stuff, it just means that you have a harder time if they're able to mess with those creeps. You want to get the gold near your tower where you're nice and safe.
So, still very much into the favor of Beastcoast. And the panel's idea about how you were going to have some type of success here for Heroic was a really good laning stage out of these side lanes. And that is not really proving to be the case. We'll see if they're going to be able to sort of transition things as the levels get up. But it feels like it's just constantly pulling up top continuously. And Lumpy off to a hot start here in the mid.
Yeah, this is why I think the Invoker pick was so important. I'm looking at this draft, and I'm thinking things like they end up banning the Puck, which I think might have been like the second best choice, but I think even Puck would have struggled in a game like this for Heroic in terms of like trying to move around the map and actually set up kills. Because you have these kind of awkward side laners of the Bristleback and the Brood, where Brood gets to a point where you can rotate in, and she'll provide that damage for you, but making those rotations can be a little bit tough. The support duo is not perfect in terms of the damage, but Invoker kind of covers everything, right? You have a lot of damage you can add into the ganks. You have that mobility. You have the initiation. You have the catch. It's just Invoker kind of has it all. Just needs a little bit of time. But you can always fill holes in your draft of this hero. And currently, it feels like the laning stage hasn't been too much of a problem for this hero right now in the current state of the game.
Right. I will say that Analog's voice line game is on point. Like, it pauses immediately, just spams fight me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Moo's also Grandmaster on the Tusk. I think he should be firing back a little bit here, but that's the problem, you know, with support players have to use their brain the whole game. You know, these core players, they're just...
Nothing going on
up there. They just see the little health bars of the creeps, the little, like, ching-ching of the goal, feels good.
It's been programmed into them.
Yep.
It's the last hitting. It can't stop. Well, can see some typing going on from Hector as the game is still paused for the moment.
Vitaly, they're actually rolling up the sleeves. He's like, okay, I got the most last hits here. Looks like it's time for me to carry this game for the squad. You know, you got the first pick. There is definitely some pressure on you in those situations.
I mean, he got the first pick. They had every pick to come and try and deny against this, and he's looking great. Like, I don't know. I would be feeling really solid right now if I'm Beastcoast.
You are not wrong. When you get this hard countered in the lane. Now, that being said, it's still a little early. Of course, things get kind of spicy. As you can see now, it's not quite as simple.
Yeah.
Once the levels are there on the Bristleback, times to be a bit tough here. Is another thrilling support battle. Moose getting in there.
AJ battling it out too, and he is still going to be able to get... Oh, not quite that one blocked out. Although Hector in kind of far. Hector in some trouble.
That's
gonna go down.
That's not good.
Oh man, that is not what you want to see. 2 deaths in that bottom lane now on the side of Heroic.
Yeah, that is pretty painful. To be picking a Bristleback into the Enigma and dying on the Bristle, it's one thing for your melee support to feed. You know that's going to happen. But to actually start getting levels in your skills and still die to the Enigma lane?
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, all the Arcane boots are out now like all good carries these days, so maybe that's going to help things.
Snowball, push the spider in a little bit closer, but Devi, he will back out. Keeping that distance.
Moose, again, is going to try and, like, that's the thing about this top lane. He's just moving in to disrupt the stacks. We've seen a lot of teams abuse this with Shadow Demon, but Moose has been in there. He's body blocking. He's got the sentries down.
Yeah.
And even though he did D-Ward there on KJ, Moose just body blocks. Oh, he keeps the Ancients in and walks into the other camp. Nicely
really
done.
Impressive. Look, we talk about stacking all the time. Interrupting stacking like that as like a melee support, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and they don't have the easiest lineup to go and steal them either, so it's not even like they... If the stacks get made, they can contest them, they can go in and fight because they have the mobility of the Void Spirit, but it would be hard to actually come in and steal them away. And obviously Heroic having this Broodmother and having this Bristleback, they can get in the jungle and farm these up pretty quick.
And the other thing too is like how those are so important for the Bristleback later on, like you're saying. It's pretty tough if that's not getting done. Like, they probably need to go on over and just stack the other Ancient, make sure that they're getting something at the very least, which it looks like KJ is going for right now.
Well, it's 7 minutes as well here, so Moo's also moving over. Battle of the Wisdom Runes.
Misho and Schofield battling it out. Dispose is pretty good. The Cogs might be able to push him away. We'll see if he can make the work that he needs to do, and he is going to. So that is going to be a Beastcoast getting
Analog
Wisdom Rune.
He actually denied the other Wisdom.
Whoa! Wait, what?
I think I don't know. All right, well, you'll take that as moves, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
Forcing them to deny it, so yeah, he didn't get it, but I guess it must. Okay. Yeah, it must have been the ice shards. Or he just like, couldn't reach it or something.
Nicely played.
Yeah.
Well, nonetheless, Wisdom's denied. Not something that you often see, but if that's the only thing that you got an option to, it makes sense. Now, Schofield, he is going to be in more trouble, but they didn't quite manage to connect on that rebound. And now Vitaly is in a little bit of trouble, has level 6. I don't know if Black Hole would keep him alive here, if there could be more people that move in and try and help out. It looks like Vitaly's just going to keep running away. Yeah, they're going to get out of there. it always, these intra-regional matchups feel so weird. You just have like 3 heroes running through the river together on the side of Beastcoast while like Vitality's getting chased across the map, and it always turns into some interesting Dota.
Well, Moo's trying to make things interesting here in this mid lane. Lurking nearby, Lumpy. And you have that double jump here, and also has some
back
illusion,
in,
but it's not enough.
Oh, immediately! Was it broken, or did he just end up canceling it? I'm not sure. Either way, that is not what they wanted to have happen at all. And so with that, Enigma goes down, likely to lose Moose as well. El Misho, he will be able to escape. But Heroic back on track now after a little bit of a rough couple of minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Moose is trying to set up mid, ends up having to TP bottom, still dies, so can't enable Lumpy, can't slow down the Invoker, and you lose your Enigma. And Hector gets some revenge there on that lane as they want to keep this pressure up, standing behind the tier 1 tower. Hector just dropping the Seas of Serenity. Now he's the one saying, fight me.
4 heroes nearby. El Misho, the only one that's there to help. They will take out that ward now, is Schofield wanting to chase this Marcy around, but does not have level 6 obviously on the clock, so it's going to be a little bit of a long chase, it feels like. KJ, just out of range. We'll be able to build another one, looking for that disruption, as we're also going to take a look at what's going on in mid. There's more action happening. They will end up losing her, but yeah, you can see right there. What was that? Was it a battery assault?
He did have it going, so yeah, I guess that must have been it.
Man, unlucky. A lot of things around that could have gotten hit, but ends up breaking that black hole.
Oh, Divine Llama doing what Broodmothers do here. After you have level 6, forcing the Muerta out of the lane. That's going to draw Lumpy up here. So you're going to try and keep this tower alive to reduce that pressure that's going to come up on Pyke as he's farming into those deeper parts of the dire side of the map. And Divine Llama is going to start sweeping through here and farming as much as he can. Or perhaps pressuring mid.
As Analog right on top of him is going to be found. Tries to pull away Hector, seeing if he can get some separation, but Vitali, nowhere left to go, ends up dying. The Eidolons, they're going to be killed off before it can do extra damage to KJ.
Yeah, nice try there from El Misho, but it's not enough. And despite coming mid, Divine Llama actually ends up just TPing back up top there. Lumpy just sticking around for a while. Now Moose is the one in trouble. He has to snowball onto a spider.
Keeping him alive for the moment. Battery Assault still chasing. Now Pyke nearby too. There's the shards.
Yeah, Lumpy's
and
here.
Lumpy's there too. And so they will end up being able to, well, Tornado.
Oh, he's
trying to cover each other. No mana. Oh, that EMP making it valuable, but they still managed to find that kill. It definitely has a feel of like 3 separate things happening simultaneously all around the map.
Yeah, it's very chaotic right now. Divine Llama taking advantage of that chaos and then push the tier 1 tower, and Lumpy does eventually return up here, but it's really close to going down. It's kind of an inevitability here from the Broodmother at this point, but Pyke now picking up that Maelstrom. Aghanim Scepter finished for Hector.
Wow.
That's where you get your shotgun bristle.
That is pretty quick. Bow, bow, bow. El Misho got to run away. 7 stacks just like that. Vitali is nearby there also. Hector is Omega farmed. So in towards mid. They will get the Dispel on the rune, and Lumpy needs to be careful as Schofield wraps around.
So close to 6 too.
But it's going to be a bottle refill, and that set things right.
All right, nicely done. Use the amplified damage to take down that middle tower. Divine Llama can just race back up top and grab the other one, honestly. It's quite close as well. If you're wondering what that little red mark is on the mini-map, that's the Ofrenda.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can't see it anymore because it's under Divine Llama's icon, but there's kind of a funny little marker there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's that lovely thing, which Muerta can choose to respawn at as one of her facets.
Hasn't died yet, though. So not really that great if, you know, you're not dying, but sets up for later in the game. Can be pretty sick for jumping back into it. Down bottom, it looks like it's setting up for a battle. Smoke up with Lumpy and El Misho. Now, Clockwork is nearby. Hector is level 10. It's a hard fight to take. And instead, they're going to head their sights towards mid. KJ, Smoke. Now they spot Analog. Smoke breaks. They're going to go for anything else? No. So both smokes will fail. And Heroic, the ones that are sort of gaining because of this. 3,000 gold lead right now.
It's kind of surprising that with how much action and movement over the map there's been, Lumpy's only 1-0-1. He actually hasn't been involved that much. He's been doing a lot of just like running around and dealing with the spiders, not getting like baited into a lot of these fights.
Right. Well, I think this is, again, by virtue a little bit of the Shadow Demon, because you've got Brood and Bristle that are hard to kill, so the main target is Invoker, and if SD's just sitting behind him the whole time, it's not easy.
No.
Tally takes that Wisdom before the spiders were able to come on in and take it away. You can see both teams stacking up a decent amount.
I mean, you look how farmed Hector is. Imagine if so many more of those stacks had been completed right now, because now he's over here to the piggy bank, and there just wasn't a whole lot. Like this legitimately could have had 4 or 5 more camps in it if it wasn't for what Moose was doing there on that Tusk. KJ will finally go over and scoop up the Wisdom Rune, as it was not taken care of there by Beastcoast, so I'll be happy to see that nobody invaded to deal with that.
And still the gold lead stays about similar. Slight increase into the favor of Heroic by virtue of, mainly Divine Llama come on in and steal these away is what it feels like a bit. And Tusk not really having that much farm at all.
Wow, he just drops the Demonic Purge there onto Lumpy. Oh, Schofield not quite close enough to follow up the hook shot. Level 1. It's a bit short.
Killing spiders. It's not a ton of gold, but taking away that vision is kind of nice. And again, you don't feel like you can do much on Beastcoast right now. This would be a great get if they can catch the Llama and not quite able to get the Malefice off.
Yeah, or the Snowball even. Something to just track. But chasing a Brew with a Snowball is kind of terrifying, so.
Oh, yeah.
She skitters pretty fast away. You might wind up further in than you want to be.
And so Devi, after taking that top tier 1 tower, has reset, is on this bottom side of the map, taking away Ancients. And Hector and Heroic going in to try and take down Roche.
This is really problematic. Has the Bloodstone done, and then an Aegis to boot. And they still haven't finished that Spirit Vessel quite yet. It's almost done for Vitaly, so he'll have that, but not going to feel as good fighting into an Aegis on Hector.
No.
Does have the Gleipnir done, Pike, but again, Hector being the one you have to deal with.
Right.
Not going to care that much about it.
No, the AoE damage, it's not quite feeling as strong. Of course, Pierce the Veil can change things around a lot. Having the Spirit Vessel helps. If you can keep them in place with these shards, maybe. There's a lot of possibilities for ways that this could go good. But it is feeling a little bit dependent upon a lot of the rest of Heroic basically doing nothing to help him.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you hit a single hook shot, tower is just going to fall. Like if you can just wipe out one hero before these fights, they're going to march up with this Bristle and this pipe on Broodmother, and you're not going to be able to contest them as
Devi. Oh, can't quite get him. El Misho, he's in too far now. And that is going to be a dead Marcy. The spider eats up that support, and Heroic continue to assert some dominance. With Aegis in hand, they feel incredibly confident. Why shouldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, Moose, though, double-checking there. Multiple sentries down here. Really ensuring that there's nothing in that middle lane.
Oh, yeah. Mid. KJ. Yeah, that is a...
and yet they both miss the obs that is further up by the tier 2.
Schofield, he's also wrapping around. Killing illusions. Spots one, jumps onto Schofield. Pulls him back in. There's the shards, the block down, the Malefice. Damage out, Hector's coming in. Be careful, this Bristle is hard to deal with. Already using Pierce the Veil somewhat defensively there. And that means there is no way you can fight his Beastcoast.
Yeah, it's not the longest cooldown, it's only a minute, so if you can get control of the waves, like just clear 2 waves, you'll be okay. It's Lumpy, just pushing the limit here. Has the barrier, has the jump.
Gotta run, gotta run. They're getting chased down. Well, the goo is on him and pops the bristleback. Retreats away.
That's a good thing about killing Schofield is they can't lock you down into the fight.
Yeah.
Right? And that's obviously the one thing that the bristle's going to struggle with is he can't really force you to just fight him. That's what his allies have to do. And that's why this Invoker will work out really nicely. That's why this Clockwork is here. But
that's why Lumpy can do that. As Moose, he is in trouble. So the double supports combo together, and well, with the snowball coming out, it's going to make this last a little bit longer, but eventually they will be able to bring him down.
Vitaly coming in mid?
Oh, looking.
They could theoretically take care of this Aegis, but obviously that's a pretty painful way to spend Black Hole, and the Invoker's there covering him.
A little too scary. Lumpy playing with fire now. Oh, that was close. Won't be able to kill him off, but it is going to be a tier 2 tower down. And this sort of churning brick wall walking at them. And for Beastcoast, there has not been an answer so far. Vitaly, he's found an absolute no man's land. Just completely caught off guard here, and this Enigma is also going to die.
You see Schofield immediately looking for the next target.
And Pike, he's in trouble now, also up top. Lumpy comes in, they get the disruption, trying to do what they can to bring down this Huerta, and it is enough. KJ gets the kill. King Jungles indeed.
Yeah, he'll happily trade his life for that. Does hand a spree over to Lumpy, so that's going to help him get a little bit closer to this potential Aghanim Scepter. That's what he decides to do. But Hector wants to take something else from the side of Beastcoast, and that's their Tormentor.
I mean, this is already just so difficult to deal with. Like, they are, you're not killing Hector this game, it feels like. It would take some really big mess-ups based upon how he's been playing. It's just, it seems really difficult. But we will see. I can also see sometimes these little pickoff plays here are really nice. Lumpy trying to come in for a snipe, manages to get it. It's a good Void Spirit game, but now he just runs out right into Hector. Got to get out of there, Lumpy. Dissimulate. Drinking buddies, wants to run. Actually is enough to keep him alive for now. Moose, he doesn't have anywhere else to go, so they'll take down the Tusk, and in the meantime, Lumpy just barely going to get away from that Brood.
Just keep my eye on him here, you know, you never know. I wasn't sure if there was still a Sunstrike left, but Analog's on the move right now. No time for that.
And this noose continues to tighten, it feels like, as Hector and the rest of Heroic are shutting down all of these different towers across the map. Now, this would be a good one. The Gleipnir is down. Good damage out onto this Broodmother. She goes down. Divine Llama in the dirt, and Beastcoast some signs of life.
Big pick off for them right now.
Misho comes.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Maybe not. They obviously have the potential, right? You have, of course, the constant threat. The Blink Dagger's about to be done here for Vitaly, so you might actually find a Black Hole play. You have this Gleipnir here from Pyke that we haven't had too many opportunities to utilize for like an actual team fight. That's still a possibility. They could find something there. And probably just going to maybe hopefully gear up for stealing that next Roche. I think if you give away that Aegis again to Heroic, it's going to be virtually impossible to defend. At least it's going to take a much harder effort and a much more like perfect team fight to actually win. So considering that next Aegis, I think, is probably the most important thing for Beastcoast right now is KJ. Looks like he might be going down again here, much faster this time.
Yeah, getting these items up.
Look at the lines, he drew the mini-map.
Yeah. He's just drawn all over it. He's very upset about dying.
Scribbled on the whole map. Kill them!
Schofield is going to get the hook shot in and land it now onto Moose. So this is going to be a dead Tusk, but already they got what they came for. They got the kill on his Shadow Demon. Oh my god, is he going to live? No, he's not. Surely. Yeah.
How about that Grandmaster shard, though? That's a nice shard.
Yeah.
You know, no soul burn there. Maybe he gets it. Okay, I know, they would have chased. It's fine. Hurricane Pike now finished up here. The same circle, once again drawn by KJ, clearly trying to send a message to the team.
Well, almost towards that Aghanim Scepter for Lumpy, and these supports are going to be even more susceptible. He has been the one setting up for these kills. The unfortunate part for her is that it just keeps on being heroic getting KJ dead.
We need like like the Key and Peele Obama angry translator.
Oh,
we
yeah.
need that for the minimap translator.
Okay.
I need to know what KJ is trying to say to the team right now.
He's saying a lot of things. Oh, are they going to get him? He's right over the top. Gets away from trouble. They don't see him.
Oh, it's a candle. I see it now. I understand the shape now.
He's just farming up like in the most dangerous areas with very little mana. Like Lumpy understands what he needs to do this game in terms of just like messing with them constantly and playing right on the edge.
Yep.
And
he's delaying these pushes too. Like it is last tier 2, so I mean you can be happy as heroic that you're knocking down this tower. I mean, hey, all of yours are still standing here. Short of now the bottom one, as it is denied by Analog. That is their first tower they've lost.
okay.
But the good news, well, I don't know if it's good or bad news. It's going to be a very long Aegis spawn. It's 2.5 minutes here.
Okay.
I guess good news for Beastcoast, at least, that they can't immediately run into it on the side of Heroic, because it feels like Beastcoast needs to get out of the map a little bit more here. And they do have that Aghanims done. So all those little maneuvers there from Lumpy have paid off. He's got his Ags. And currently on the Bristle, there is still no Dispel, right? I mean, other than the Shadow Cleanse, I guess.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
big
that's
one.
the one that's going to be a problem. Throwing that onto him and then also having the disruption ready makes this pretty annoying. And he's about to have a BKB done, so yeah. BKB, Hector will be immortal. But when that's not happening, there's some chance there.
They're going to grab that Radiant Tormentor there, so that goes to Divine Llama.
And you can see just how quickly he's been moving on up the net worth totem pole. Hector definitely having a very good game. If there's one thing that guy can do, it's definitely farm. Maybe eyes towards mid or something. This ward that they're playing around, they're trying to find a pick-off here.
Yeah, I think they might have noticed. I think Schofield's Flare might have seen Moose place
now
it.
They definitely see. Jumps away. And a Remnant keeps Hector back for a moment. I can't help but feel also when they get like one Hex online, Lumpy's game feels so much worse.
Yeah, there's no room for error at all for him. Like, even currently, if he just gets stunned by something simple once, he's very much going to be the target that they go for.
El Misho found, killed. Heroic pressuring out these lanes. Up to the top corner of the map is Vitaly as Lumpy pushes out this mid lane. And he actually just TP's out of there right now. And Roche, we knew it was going to be a long one, 15 seconds, and it's going to be back up. God, he's going for Greaves on Shadow Demon.
Yeah, it's nice. It frees up Divine Llama a little bit, right? After already getting the pipe and the Orchid, can keep going for more of the aggressive route rather than going back for a different aura.
Yeah.
They do have one scan here on Beast Coast. But it doesn't look like they're thinking about this right now. They're just not considering it as a possibility in terms of fighting. So they're just going to take the trade on the tier 2 bottom instead.
Okay. Shadow Blade done from Huerta. Obviously, Silver Edge, if you can get to it, still a lot of gold away. But that is one of those answers for the Bristle that can feel nice if they can keep them under control and not die in the duration of the BKB.
If you're a new Dota fan, this Bristleback feller, who you've been seeing run around the map and shoot these quills out, he takes way less damage from behind. That's kind of how the whole thing works, but we have a thing in Dota where if you can break them, then just pretend it doesn't exist. He's just like any other normal hero.
Yeah.
That's why we're talking about Silver Edge. It's the only item you can buy that actually breaks people. Really? There's only one item that breaks people? Yeah, it's true. There's actually only one item. Isn't that crazy?
Can break spirits a lot easier in this game than, passive abilities. As Drinking Buddies, wait a minute, Pike showing up. Gleipnir down, Snowball, stun, Walrus Punch. They thought it was going to be an easy pickoff. No such luck, and now finding round 2.
Yeah, see, now they haven't quite gotten to the we're super owning this game because you didn't have the BKB yet on the Invoker, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have this ability to be like this spread on the map. And this is another one of these classic plays we see where one team gets the Aegis, and you kind of think like, okay, we have the Aegis now, we need X items before we go high ground. And everyone spreads out to get that last couple hundred gold that you need. We've all done it in our games. And then you get picked off like that. So now that BKB gets even further delayed for the Invoker. And then that means that the push gets delayed. And then you wonder, are we going to get to use this Aegis? And Hector says, yes, I will walk up the stairs myself if I have to.
Oh my God,
and that's what I'm doing.
Look at Hector.
Hello, come home. You will go back to your base and respect my authority.
He is the most alone that I've
His
ever
team
seen a Bristleback.
is not across the river.
They're pinging him desperately. Please, sir. Divine Llama's getting close, but he is literally completely alone here. Shards, they're trying to get there to help out. Hector, ooh, Bloodstone, yeah, and Silence, he's fine. I mean, he had his BKB the entire time too, but
you know,
he took a tower.
He might not have played that many Bristleback games, but he definitely understands the Bristleback mentality, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many times have you guys had your Bristleback just feel totally invincible and then just go feed? You know, they all do it.
That's true.
Even Hector's apparently susceptible.
Listen, as soon as you get
look
that
at this. Beastcoast grabbing from behind. They go for the wave. Are they going to find actual heroes too, though?
gem down on the ground, they kill the courier that had gem. Now Lumpy finds one more kill. Tries to back out of there for the moment. Over and very far is this Void Spirit. Will manage to get some separation and get out of there. Pike turns, breaks, hits, damage, out, but already dead on moves. And now has to get away. Hurricane Pike to create some separation. He's still fine.
They don't have to fight. They killed the wave.
Yeah?
They are not committed to this at all.
Listen, once Hector sees red, that's all he knows.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, pulls it back and he's gone! Hector goes down once, and now they have Black Hole ready.
And pierce the veil.
Gotta be careful. Damage is out. Vitaly already on top of him. Has the Black Hole connection. Do they have enough damage to kill him off? It looks like the answer is yes.
Oh, the BKB's there from Vitaly, protected from the tornado. You can't cheat death.
Oh my God.
They take them down. They break this lead down to 3K, and the whole concept of this draft is now in danger for the side of Heroic. Like, there's a reason that Hector's trying to run it down mid.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, they did get the gem. It's on Vitaly now, so that's even more of that gold swing. I mean, also, you take a look at it, Void Spirit picking up the Deso. Although Misho, now they turn, he tries to show up. Analog, BKB,
Vitaly.
is it going to be enough to keep him alive? Vitaly is going to die with no BKB of his own. BKB used on the Marcy, and now turns to fight Divine Llama, ready to jump forward. Blink done! Oh, these heroes. Gem's still on the ground, got to go pick that one up with Moose. But you can see the power of the Beastcoast draft.
You know, I have to give some credit to Vitaly too as well on that initial base defense, because you think about how many times we've seen these Enigma players just not quite be able to get the Black Hole, right? Like,
yeah.
It's a classic story where everyone's like, saving Black Hole for next game?
Right.
Like, you know, I know my Twitch chat, and I don't blame them because that mentality is very easy to fall into as the Enigma players, but he gets the BKB, he waits, and he actually gets the connection that they desperately needed on the high ground.
Oof.
This is that potential that we always want to see in the hero that he finds. Then, then he feeds down mid right after, but before that, very good.
Some good stuff indeed. You saw there that jump away from the Void Spirit before the hook shot came in. Now they back out. No Divine Llama online, and they've cut this lead down to less than 1,000 gold.
Yep.
Look at that swing.
And Lumpy getting a huge talent there on the level 20 as well. So he has the Astral Step charge restore time. So with his build, with the Deso and everything,
Oh, amp damage.
way harder to catch. And yeah, he's got the big damage.
Assimilate out for a moment. Kills off everything. And our Heroic going to try and fight into this. Of course, you can tornado that amp damage off if he gets a little bit too big for his britches. But it looks like this is just going to be one used to farm. Clear out the vision and maybe try and make a play for next Roche. 2.5 minutes till it's capable of respawning.
Vitaly finds a very late Wisdom Rune there. It's been marinating for 4 minutes.
Smoke up. Hector leading the charge.
They're sending the spiders up top as well, just to try and make sure that they can figure out what's going on. And also put some pressure on that top lane.
They have BKB Black Hole back up again. Pike, oh, very close to getting caught there. Yeah, you can see this decision going back for the Boots of Bearing on the Enigma. It's much slower than it normally is because people tend to prioritize that item much more frequently. In this game, he recognized, I need to get to the BKB Black Hole to try and set up, and of course the Spirit Vessel as well to deal with this Bristle.
Yeah, just to save this game here. Another anti-Bristle item picked up here, the Scotty. Nearly complete for Lumpy. As they will hit the Sunstrike there to, again, get another Tormentor for Heroic. And that's going to give the jetpack over to Schofield as he celebrates by zooming around a little bit.
It does raise some interesting questions, though, about where this game goes over the next few minutes, right? Because, I mean, I think also we were praising Vitaly, but it was also Marcy a lot. Like, the disposes to pull that Bristle out of position, being able to go in pretty... Like, the fact that he's only died 4 times is kind of crazy.
Yeah, and he's out here trying to get this Basher as well.
Yeah. Fear, push back. Ooh, forces the BKB, backs away.
Okay, that's 90 seconds now, where Hector is just not going to want to fight.
And full Scotty done. Hector finishes the Abyssal Blade. I don't know, this is getting to that territory where they have the items that they need to deal with the Bristleback.
Yep.
Heroic did not build up enough of a lead or really take the high ground in a meaningful way. Have they extended this game long enough on the side of Beastcoast?
Yeah, again, it's going to be... I think this time they are definitely ready to fight the Aegis, I would hope. I think that you have the advantage there with your lineup. Should feel pretty good. It's just about getting the positioning, which means getting the waves pushed out to a point where you feel comfortable enough to actually just sit around that Roach Pit. 20 seconds till we find out when it's going to spawn. But knowing that there's no Bristle, you know there's not going to be some big team fight that they're going to try and be pushing for here on the side of Heroic without that BKB. And yeah, they have 1 Spirit Vessel charge on the Enigma. We still have that Shadow Cleanse to worry about, though.
Oh, yeah.
So there is some protection there, but in combination with the Scotty, the single target damage that comes out from the Muerta and the Marcy, Hector, yeah, definitely not the big Bristle you're hoping for. Is once again, they will get another Tormentor, and they've already finished their shard, so it's just for the gold.
And, you know, for as much as we've seen, like, and talked about the potential of Analog in this game, I feel like out of the Invoker, he hasn't really been able to get into fights in a way that we felt his impact as much as we have in other games. I think just some of the problem of the matchup that they've got, Pyke immediately there. There's the root connection, jump forward, he pops the BKB, backs away. That's Pierce the Veil already used.
I think it's been the inability to lock down Lumpy that's made it really hard, because he can't like position well in these fights.
Right.
You can't really go for like the Blink Dagger on the Invoker currently because he's kind of pressured and getting this right-click damage as well. As they now that's lockdown, but they can't follow it up.
There's nobody else there. The rest of the team wasn't in position or wasn't ready. And
yeah, Elmisha's in that Roach Pit. He's waiting.
The big wraparound coming now. Heroic.
There was a line drawn, though, and the Flare's going to give it away for sure.
You know where they're at now. Smoke breaking by Moose. Pings, 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 ping, 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 ping.
The gem is sitting on Lumpy right now, so he's the one who's got the chance to find Analogs. He's running around here. Invis does come out now.
Amisho still smoked. They're killing off the spiders. And now look at him. Look at Hector. Hector's running in towards mid to take the racks to force them back. So Hector is going to force all of Beastcoast back to base, and that might open up an opportunity for Heroic to take it.
Running.
Although, yeah, they can't go all the way for it. So now they're the ones with the advanced position. Lumpy is still very far forward.
Oh, Schofield.
This is scary stuff.
It's caught by the Aether. Well, he's jetpacking.
Roche is still up here for a long time, and they're just barely dealing with the creeps in base, but that's Vitaly out of there. Vitaly is not in this fight. Moves, he's going to get caught. Heroic, they have played this Aegis perfectly. Playing around the pit, forcing back Beastcoast. A heads-up play by Hector, and Vitaly can't deal with this creep waves. There's so much.
Yeah, very good macro plays here from Heroic, just forcing them all over the map right now. And it's crazy that they actually got the range racks as well as setting up for this Aegis for themselves. Heroic putting themselves back in control of this game, needing this Aegis and Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah. Is Hector going to take that and sell his other one? Oh my god.
That's too much.
Surely not.
Oh, we have an Invoker. Let's go. Wombo combo. Oh.
Schofield. Interesting. He's thinking about it.
Oh, he takes it. Oh,
All
he
right.
takes the overclocking.
I mean, it's pretty great for, like, keeping pressure on the side lanes. It does so much.
Yeah, they don't really have good setup for Cataclysm in this game. They don't really have like any AoE team fight setup, so it's kind of understandable.
Right. So
That's a lot of
Heroic
pressure.
Radiant's bottom tower.
make an incredibly good macro play of pulling Beastcoast around the map.
Oh, Schofield, he dusts. He runs into 2 though, and tossed. No Ags opportunity on that one.
Oh, wow. Okay. These pick-off... I mean, I think this, again, gives more credence to the idea that if you're Heroic, I think you really need to try and end this game around this Aegis. You made a solid play. You pulled yourself back into it. You have a Hex now on Invoker. I feel like you got to make a move. And you can see they're drawing on the map. We need to go. Can Beast Coast hold out against this pressure that they have to know is coming? They're underneath the ward here, too. Ike's underneath the ward, underneath the sentry, going immediately. Pike drinking buddies, backs out, trying to escape for the moment. And it does look like they're doing the run.
Hector, I'm okay. What can they actually see? They don't know that he's like super mega alone.
That's true.
But, you know, and he also has an Aegis. It's probably not worth it. It's a bristleback with 3,724 HP.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Hector says it all.
I think that there is like something to be said for if the rest of the team can get there, like taking a fight around Hector. I don't know if they're going to try and go for him, though. Is there any chance that they try and go?
Nah. Just, we shake hands and walk away. You know, that's all we're doing here. Shake hands and walk it off.
Okay. Okay, Trent.
Yeah, that's the play.
They're like Clockwork's dead too, so they know that there's no black hole breaking.
Shake hands and walk away. Okay?
They're getting back into it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, we're just going to shake hands.
That's right.
And then what are we going to do?
Walk away.
Walk away. That's right.
Shake hands and walk away.
Shake
Yeah, maybe
hands
a high
and walk away.
five?
A high five would also be acceptable, but that takes too long.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, everybody reconnecting to the game. I mean, the reality, too, is that the team was basically as far away as they were the entire time. This was a decision to run up here and try and take this fight. The Hex was done, too, on the Invoker, if I remember correctly.
What happened to his haste rune? I mean, it must have run out.
On Hector?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought I had longer left. But we missed a few seconds there.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of running away in a weird spot. That must have been like 3 seconds, maybe?
Something like that.
Because Moves and Pike moved pretty far, didn't they? Weren't they like coming down the stairs into the hot tub?
They were just about there.
Yeah. Oh,
Still a couple of people that need to get disconnected. I mean,
Reconnected,
so let's just talk real quickly about the sort of grand scope of this game.
okay.
I felt like there was a chance that Heroic were just going to completely run away with it. Do you think they're in a position with this Aegis now where, like, they need to get this done because it becomes too hard later? Or do you think that, like, they're going to have chances no matter how late it goes in this game?
I think they'll have chances as late as it goes. I think the Muerta becomes more and more difficult to deal with.
Okay.
The more items she has, and the more items her teammates have in terms of, like, saves from the Tusk, and Marcy locking people down with bashers and just making her life easier so she's connecting more with this basher.
So the items that you're getting on Beast Coast start to hurt more than the items you're getting on Heroic.
Yeah, but your Invoker's also only level 18. Like, there's still a lot of growth left in Analog. He has that Scythe already, so I think that, yeah, he's the one that kind of takes over for Heroic, right, as the game goes later.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's, like, over if they don't end on this Aegis. I do think that the game moves more into Beast Coast's direction, generally. Okay. But there's also so many individual plays that can change that, right? Like, it's Enigma is always kind of a high risk, high reward. Like, if he just keeps missing black holes throughout the rest of the game or something, then yeah, you're not going to win.
Right.
Doesn't matter how favored parts of your draft is.
And I guess that there is that other element too, where if you're talking about, you know, it can become harder to deal with late game, then maybe you don't want to force the issue too much with the Aegis. You don't want to force this Aegis too hard, because if you do and you make it a bad play, it's going to be really, really bad. As we did get a quick resume, but they're going to come back in. Sorry. They are fixing a TeamSpeak issue from what I can hear. All right. There's just, some friendly banter. It's fine. I'm not going to try and translate.
No, Hector's taking off the headset, so he definitely was not ready.
Yeah.
So, accidental there. As they're currently just setting up some communication issues. They're getting that all done.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Well, we are, again, just waiting for the all clear and all good to go. But we can talk a little bit more about just sort of the experience for these two teams of like coming in, not necessarily as like an underdog on the side of Beastcoast, but coming as the team that's got, though, very little committed to get the BKB out of this bristle. And on the hunt, Invoker shows in the mid lane.
The scan hits. They know they're coming here. Divine Llama gonna get spotted.
There it is. Dust out. Pike finds him. Break. Chase. BKB used again.
They're on Hector at the same time.
Not an easy one to make happen, but the silence is there. Lumpy pops the Manta, tries to back away, needs to jump. He gets out. Schofield not going to commit the hook shot there on to the Void Spirit.
Just that same time where they were fighting the mid, Lumpy was just standing on a staircase directly above Hector. But really just did not want to risk it unless they were super confident they were going to get that kill.
Device for a Basher too.
Oh yeah, going for another Abyssal. Stack him up with the Bristleback.
Well, it's interesting because I feel like the choice there is like Abyssal or Hex, right? Mm-hmm. And Hex feels like the more immediate, easy to get like kill for the Void Spirit, but he wants to be able to stand toe-to-toe and right-click people to death. Pike, jump in, silence.
They got him.
Connection, damage, dead shot, it's there! Is it going to be enough? Second dead shot, he's gone!
Now Hector's in.
He's in very far, silence already.
Seconds.
He needs it just a little bit longer, 5 seconds away. And realizing this, they're going to back out. They also had the Demonic Cleanse used, but that's Invoker dead. And another 30 seconds to 50 seconds where this Aegis is not going to be used.
Yeah, there's going to delay more and more.
Or Hector decides to run it. Maybe he feels like he doesn't need another core.
Silver Edge is coming in.
Pike moves in. There it is. Caught. Gleipnir. BKB out. Dude, it is... There's not a ton of deaths. 32 and 41 minutes. It's decent. But there's been a lot of fighting.
And they're smoking. They're still chasing here. Lumpy's got his jumps. He's looking.
Vitali blinks forward. Clockwork the one to be interrupting all of this. And Stun is out. Dead on the clock. Vitali's still hunting.
Oh, Divine Llama getting greedy.
And finds him. Forces out the BKB, but look at the deeps. Pretty
get back there
stuff.
with the Trickster Cloak.
Misho has the Ancient Guardian there. That is, he's got damage now.
Yeah, he was thinking about a Daedalus. Still has it queued up.
Everybody wants to be a carry.
When there's this much gold on the map, why not?
True.
All right, well, 30 seconds left on this Aegis. I think it's not going high ground, this one.
True.
I think we can say that pretty confidently here. So time's delayed once again here for Heroic, as Hector is going to walk directly into two of them.
Vitali is there.
He's so
broken, dead.
He's so ready to use this Aegis.
Are they going to go for more? Lumpy trying to find KJ. They can't get in time, but there it is. The hook shot. That breaks it. It gets Hector out of trouble, but Schofield, he's going to pay the price.
Vitali dying.
Backing away. Divine Llama jump in, find that spider. Instead, they get the bigger target in the analog. Now, Hector does manage to kill the Enigma, but he is all alone. Now, if there is one hero that you want to be all alone, it could be Bristleback.
Yeah, they're just going to ignore him, though.
Run down the lane.
There is no buyback on this Invoker right now.
800 gold away from having it. And as they get ready to start spamming down this lane...
they know there's no cleanse.
Yeah. Doesn't have anything to help keep him alive here. There's the BKB turnaround, and now Hector has to play... Well, I was going to say really safe, but he kind of runs in. Does not have BKB now. Gonna pop the Bristleback. There is the punch, and now the shards, now the connection. Pulling him in closer and closer, feared. Down to about a third of his HP. still feeling strong and in charge. Pike has
Schofield?
to back away.
Schofield?
Goes forward, break done! Schofield looks for the hook shot connection, takes him down! What a hit! Schofield with the blade mail, making good use of it, but does he have enough damage to get him out alive? No. Still, that was so necessary.
Oh, that triple flare was
whoa.
so good.
Pike takes a lot of damage there. Sunstrike! Woo! Just out of their butt! The Shadow Demon! Illusions! You gotta be kidding me, KJ!
To survive the Sunstrike and just die from the disruption?
But from the
illusion?
vision of the Sunstrike.
Just
The
absolute
supports,
insanity.
dude. The supports.
They did it all. 7,605 experience for the Clockwork. Excuse me, sir? That's a lot of experience to get in one team fight.
And now look, like there's gonna be no black hole here, but they don't have Hector. I mean, I don't know what.
7,000 experience?
19 to 24.
He's the same level as Analog.
Yeah, KJ is above him.
KJ's 21. What is happening?
I mean,
he's above Divine Llama.
These supports, dude, there's something else. Blink Dagger, Greaves, and a Dream.
Their cores?
And look at
He was
Schofield.
level 16 before this.
Bow, 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 bow. They got him.
Unbelievable. And the blade mail to the itemization, just perfect for what he's seeing Beastcoast do here. And being godlike with the double kill there on Pike. But KJ just disrupts him. And these illusions, they just don't want to give up.
Right.
It's so casual the way they just walk after him.
Oh, and then the Sunstrike, he dodges that, but then the vision from the Sunstrike means illusions can hit.
Insane.
Oh, jeez.
Actually unbelievable. Now we're all resetting here. And our Roche clock is a little messed up. Oh, wait, we got the other clock. Excellent.
Of course.
My in-game one's messed up.
Sounds like a skill issue for you.
Yeah, that's what it is. Not a reconnecting issue.
As we do have a minute 18 on the Roche respawn. Where are we going to go next? I mean, the Hex is there. I mean, it's a testament to how much room they still have to grow that Invoker is still sitting on a Wraith Band. You know what I mean? Oh, that's
Yeah.
a set crit too. Like, he can still get very, very big on this hero, but it's going to come down to them winning some fights. And, well, finding El Misho, that's a great way to start. Abyssal Blade, but the snowball save. Lumpy up on the high ground, trying to beat into Divine Llama. Has to assimilate, back away. El Misho, he's in trouble. Hector tries to chase, they get him away. Pike running in with that Silver Edge. Do they want to go on to anybody? Hector's right there, broken, punching, pierce the veil, black hole, damage out, but disruption, the save coming from KJ keeps Hector alive,
With a
but
fear.
it's not going to be for long enough. Now the turn, Divine Llama trying to get out. They find the Shadow Demon, get that kill, no buyback on the Bristle, and Devi takes the northern route to get himself out of trouble. Is it going to be enough to get him all the way out of their shards? Just a little off the mark. Lumpy looking,
Whoa.
hunting. Devi, he gets out.
Nothing they could do.
Oh, man, less than 1,000 gold. And look at that swing.
Just the damage in these clumped up team fights from the Void Spirits, just ridiculous. 3 Resonant Pulses, 3 Aether Remnants, 2 Dissimulates, 5 Astral Steps.
Yeah.
Like, Void Spirit, I mean, this is why we saw people tinkering with our Battle Fury Void Spirits, right?
Right, of course.
This damage you can get to is absolutely ridiculous.
We have just this roller coaster ride of a net worth and win probability chart.
Oh, can I get a parting shot?
Or
Or the kick?
the parting shot is really interesting. I think that is super underrated.
I mean, he is a Muerta
Yeah.
player, right?
Yeah.
I feel like the Muerta players know how to use it. It's not just the casual Muertas,
Wait,
but
did
he
he pass
passes
it
it
off?
off. He gave it to the Enigma. Which,
Okay.
honestly, fair enough. That one is
Yeah.
also ridiculous. That's the black hole where it now has this non-interrupting pull that pulls you in. It's really difficult to deal with, especially as Shadow Demon, right? Because you kind of have to get a little bit close to go for that disruption save, and maybe you're going to get the save, but there's a very good chance you get pulled in after.
This was, what, 6 minutes ago, 7 minutes ago, that was the win probability. The swing back goes the other way. It's also the percentage of max HP that's dealt as damage as well.
Yeah.
So you've got like sort of this dual amount of deeps that are coming out onto Heroic, and going to be difficult for them to deal with. All of Radiant have their shards already, but the Tormentor gives a little bit of extra gold to all of them.
Interesting that Schofield picks up the Yules, but then is thinking about a Scythe after. I thought maybe he was trying to go for a full-on Wind Waker decision since we're hitting this late game, but just wants the Yules instead. Just trying to deal with this AoE silences, I suppose, because he doesn't have his own Dispel yet.
And this full refresher. Also taking the ninja gear, but keeping that enchanted quiver in inventory for once he pops the smoke.
And still missing some shards here. 3 of them, actually.
El Misho?
Now just 2, as it'll go to the Marcy here. Not bad. Very good for the initiations, because you can jump off the enemies. It's not so great in terms of like the start of the fight in the late game, but in the middle of a fight, there's a lot more opportunities to make something happen by jumping off an enemy.
You remember when she just got that naturally?
Yeah, yeah.
And
her ult shard was also terrible to compensate, in fairness.
Right, where she like throws them.
Yeah. I wanted the Helm Marcy to work where you threw your creep, but you know what? That's just bad.
The lifesteal would be pretty big if Pyke was able to get the shard.
Yeah, he's a little too rich for that, though.
Right.
Still have to work on the Void Spirit.
Well, and all of the Tormentors got stolen from him, so making it even tougher. So Blink now done on Invoker, so they have Blink Hex as an option.
I think this has been the biggest struggle for Analog. It's just the actual positioning in the team fights.
Yeah. And we know what this player can do if he gets into good position, if he gets the items that he needs. In the late game, he is a monster.
That's always the good thing and the bad thing about Invoker is that quite literally every team fight you could have played better on Invoker.
Right.
Like there's always something you could have done better. On a lot of heroes, maybe you can make a little tweak here or there, but you pretty much just got to hit your 3 spells and you're good. Invoker is just the infinite possibilities. And having the Blink Dagger is just going to try and give you the best chances there to utilize that to the maximum potential.
Bottom lane going to push in. And something that we've already seen as an issue has been Beastcoast being able to deal with these wave shutouts. But now with a 10k gold lead off the back of this Aegis, question is how do Heroic deal with this pressure? Ward dropped down pretty far back. Pyke still invis here.
I think they're going to struggle to get a good fight with Hector. Like, how do you actually get Hector into a good spot for the fight? I almost feel like he needs a blink, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he has this Abyssal, but if Beastcoast with this gold lead, they just do not want to give you a good chance. So, I mean, Blink Dagger is you solving your own problem, but ideally he's going to try and rely on his teammates. Like, now there's a Blink Dagger on Analog. Schofield being a Clockwork, it's going to be up to them to create the situation where Hector can get these ridiculous plays like Game with the Bristleback.
You know how Clockwork has the hook up facet? He needs like the bring a friend facet.
Okay, that's too far.
You just like grab somebody on the way.
The backpack facet you pop on.
I like that.
Hitch a ride. It's actually pretty good. I like this.
11,000 gold lead. Enigma refresher and Muerta refresher. We also saw just a second ago that it is the Clockwork True Sight talent for the flares. So with all of those extra flares that are getting thrown out, he will be able to find that Muerta more often than not.
Yep, quite good in this one.
But it does feel like we've sort of settled down as the Aegis is about to be reclaimed. Beastcoast, well, regrouping together with only 14 seconds left. This is a pretty bold move right here. The Aegis is about to be down.
And Vitali?
Going around the side, they find a BKB black hole. Do they know about the refresher? Already Divine Llama trying to heal back up through all of this. They have a second salvo if they want it. The Clockwork dead with Brood also gone, and Invoker just getting whittled down.
Vitali's not ready yet.
They're not quite in position. They got to be careful. Hector, he's turning Bloodstone. Good heals is out. The damage is almost enough. Lumpy barely able to get away from that. But finally, will be brought down. Walks forward. Vitali, he gets the kill. But 4 buybacks as they're going to run forward and try and catch him. Can they get the rest of these heroes? It's pretty good to get Pyke. 2 more buybacks come from Beastcoast. A very, very tense moment in this game.
Yeah, they do not want to have to buy back here on Pyke. Vitali's able to save that next black hole, forces out the buyback, so he has that trump card here. How much can you push this Heroic? I think they have to try and force it.
Yeah, you can't just let the more to get a free round of not having to use buyback now. Because they need her damage to get the kills, I feel like. The problem is that if you end up putting yourself in a position where she does buyback, you're probably going to die, and then you're dead without buyback, unless they find him right down here to the south. They force staff silence. Abyssal blade damage out. It is a black hole onto this bristleback, and he's gone. If they don't get Lumpy now, it's all over. Lumpy gets away, and Volker is going to fall. And with that, 4 heroes dead, no buyback. Beastcoast can just run it down the lanes.
Apparently you
GG.
can cheat death. I don't know how Lumpy got out of that one. Somehow manages to escape so many heroes around him, but just getting to the perfect amount of survivability, and as well as Vitality lurking around nearby, it just goes to rip the black hole there onto Hector, and they have the damage to finish him.
Unreal. I mean, the panel said it, the coach said it, everybody said it. This was a Void Spirit game. Lumpy made his plays, and with that, Beastcoast move up 1-0 in this series as we head back to the panel.
What a